Hi guys, and welcome to Marie's Acrylic and Gel Nails. Now today I'm going to be doing not only an infill, but you can see my smile line needs moving, so I will be doing a gel tutorial on this hand. But to keep it in line with this hand, I am going to do very similar colours. Now this used to have a brush on French white. It's been cleaned out with alcohol to make sure there's absolutely no white residue. And with your gels, you do need to store them in a solid colour, whether it be black or white container, so no natural light gets to them at all. So before I get started, I'm lighted. Well, this one's a little bit, this glitter, it's from NSI. It's a little bit more probably holographic than what I'm wearing. I do really like it, so I'm just going to put a couple of teaspoons of the glitter in there. Okay, put my lid back on that and put it to the side. Okay, so I've got my glitter in there. I'm going to take on just a Builder Clear. Okay, there's a difference. A Builder Clear isn't as thick as the Body Clear, Builder Clear. And then they also do an Apex gel. So, and as you can see, I've mixed it. Okay, and I'll just let that settle. I'm happy with that consistency, and at the moment I'm just really giving my swizzle stick a really good clean to get any of the glitter off, because I don't want to contaminate my other colours. So this one here is called Purple Haze, and I love this colour. I'm just going to have a look, because as you can see the pigment is actually settled to the bottom, so I like to, before I even start filing, I like to give my gel colours a good mix. That way if I do stir air bubbles into them, because the pigment's all in the bottom, it has some time to settle, so I'm not putting air bubbles in the gel on my nail. The Purple Haze with the glitter. So those are going to be my two colours that will be going on my nails. Then I have Performance Clear, which goes down before the gel does. I have my Finish Clear, and then I have my Bodybuilder Clear, that I will be working with these gels today from NSI on my nail tutorial. Just giving the little wipe out that the white was in for that glitter, just to make sure it's all gone. And I'm just going to seal it up. Make sure that when you are working with gels, they're never, like at the moment they're close to my UV light, and I'm just going to move them off to the side because I don't want that. So I'm just going to get rid of this glitter paper towel, and we will be back to start filing. Okay guys, I've just done my thumb. It's a little bit hand-hearted because now I am left-handed, so what I'm doing is making sure around at the growth, where any lifting of the old gel where it's grown out near the cuticle is being all filed away, and get my plush brush. And then what I've done is removed all the acrylic gel from here down. Okay, so there is a little bit on acrylic, this is or on a, it's a little bit easier to do an acrylic to cut, but you'll get an idea anyway. I charge a lot more for doing stuff like this. So this is my next nail, so I'm going to go to where the growth is. I'm going to put my drill down, and if you can see, I'm not using my safety bit, and I'm cutting down into that gel. It's awkward. Okay, I'm not going for the definite nice oval smile line this time, because I blended through on the acrylic. But I just wanted to show you how you cut back. So you can see that with me wiping that off now. I'll take my foot off the drill so you don't have any noise. But you can see where the gel has been cut back there, but there's still gel here. So what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to take my file and file off this little bit here, and I'm going to file down here. I won't use the drill, but I am not using my safety bit to do this. Okay, my safety box is back in this container. I don't remember who gave me that. But yeah, I'm using the straight edge of this. Like in this one, you can really see where the the gel has, my nails grown out on the gel. So I will definitely, with my drill, come down here and start cutting out the gel. Like so. So I use my straight edge. Cut a line in. Just come on this way. Okay, so you can see the line I've cut in, and then I'm just going to go down like this and get the bulk off. So when I'm finished that, I can file that edge straight and clean it up with my file. And like I said, I know we'll go through all the other 5 nails, filing, and then filing down here to get them ready for the overlay. So once I'm finished all these fingers, I will be back. You don't need to see me doing them all, but you can definitely see this one that I finished, where I've cut out the old colour. I don't want to, a client shouldn't walk out with thick nails. Okay, so we're back, we're all filed. Now I would like to show you too, this one I broke, and at the time I broke it really short, so it is actually an extension. It's coming about close that I can file that. These are still really nice and strong, the ones that are my nails. You have to be careful when you're doing what I've done, that you don't cut in or damage the natural nail at all. That may be on my nail bed even after filing. You never know. So I like to push mine back after I file, especially because I'm doing a fill and a small line remover. I find I remove a lot of it then, so it means that I'm not using as much product now to remove any excess cuticle. And I've done a really good job with just filing getting rid of cuticle. So the prep work is all very similar. Got my Nail Pure Plus here and a lint-free wipe, and I'm going to use that and wipe off all the cuticle remover at the same time. Clean up my nails, and I've already cleaned under my nails, so I don't need to clean under them. Okay, so just get out a couple more swatches. So now this is my second go over. And it's really important, whether it's acrylic or gel, that once you start prepping that nail bed, you don't touch those areas. So that's done. Now I'm going to use my NSI Balance Bond. And I'm just going to put that anywhere where there is natural nail. Balance Bond isn't a it's not a primer. It dehydrates the natural nail surface and helps with lifting. Not that gel lifts too much. The only time I find you get problems with lifting with gel is if you put it too close to your cuticle, then you get in all sorts of trouble. But because gel's self-sealing, you really don't get those issues. So I'm just putting on a second coat. This stuff dries really, really quickly. Okay, so that's done. I'm just going to get a piece of paper towel ready. I've got my cleanse open. I'm just going to get one of these lint-free pads. I'll put it here so you can see. And I'm really going to douse that in alcohol. I'm going to grab one of my Kolinsky NSI gel brushes, and I'm just going to give it a wipe. Make sure it's all nice and clean, even though I know it is, but I just like to do it before I start. And I might throw that away and grab another one of them. And pop it there, so I'm ready to go. Now, next I'm going to get my Balance Bond Acid Free Primer. And this is designed for gel, and I'm going to do everywhere where I believe there is natural nail. Being careful, trying not to get it on the skin, but I am a very right-handed person, and life isn't as perfect using my non-dominant hand. So, okay, that's one coat. I'm going to go back in for my second coat. Okay, so we're all totally ready to go. Okay, so I'm just going to get my Performance Clear now, undo the lid, and I'm just going to paint this on like you would, say, a gel polish. I don't have to float it over so much. Anything, it's just a clear coat to help the gel adhere better to the nail. Okay, so that's that coat. And using this, I know in some of my friends that are nail techs over here, when they use the Performance Clear, when they're then working with coloured gels, they don't actually put down a clear layer, but I'm actually going to grab out my, trying to look and think which one I used. I'm not sure if I used my blush pink or my French pink gel, and I'm just going to run that over and put down a layer of that before I start applying any of my colours. Okay, now this layer doesn't have to be thick, you want it fairly thin. You don't want it up in the cuticle there like I just did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish putting that on. Make sure the whole nail's covered. I'm then going to move over to Mr. Pinky get him all nice and covered up. Like so. I'm going to wipe my brush on my alcohol filled pad, and then I'm going to come back and I'm just going to run my clean brush around my cuticle areas just to make sure that I've got a nice clean area. And I don't have gel flooding my cuticle. And I'm also going to check my sidewalls because this is my left hand, my right hand. And I get so over people saying to me all the time, oh, I can't believe you do your right hand, rah, 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 and, you know, I couldn't do it, and all that. And it's nothing but more than practice and patience. And if you make little mistakes like I just did with the cuticles, well, then you get in while you can and you clean it up. Okay, so I've got my base on. I'm just going to move my gel out of the way, out of my light. I'm just going to make sure there's no gel on my brush. And I'm going to pause the camera and I'll be back in 120 seconds. Okay guys, I'm back. I've gotten my Builder Sheer Pink. Now there is a tacky dispersion layer, that's the sheer pink. The glitter's in the bottom, it's my fault, it shouldn't be there, so I've got to be careful. So I'm just going to do, again, I just want a thin coat of this, just giving the nail some protection when I have to come back. In 3 weeks, 4 weeks time, however long they let it grow out for, to file it, the natural nail some protection. Guys, I'm back now. See, my glitters, my purples had some time to rest. You can see some little air bubbles just here forming. I am just going to tap them very gently with my gel brush, because I don't want them on my nails whatsoever. So I'm just going to try and disperse as much of them as possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do to match these is I'm going to put down my purple first and then blend the glitter over the top. Okay, so on my thumb, well, the glitter will fill up the most of the nail. I'm going to put down a couple of fine coats of this purple. I find with the anisai, the first coat of colour needs to be thin, not too thick. Otherwise it doesn't seem to cure the way it should. So anisai tells me different, but it is something that I have found and I prefer to do, is just put down this fairly thin coat of colour. When I'm happy with that, what I'm going to do is just pop it in my light for 10 seconds to freeze dry it. I'm just going to cap my end just to freeze it so it doesn't move, while I then continue on doing the rest of my nails. So I will just freeze this, so you can see it's frozen, so it won't move now. It's frozen pretty much in place. And then I'm going to move on to my next fingers, and this is what I will be doing on them all. I'm just going to I went and grabbed one of my gel polishes because it's matched the colour up really, really well. Okay, and this is called Love Potion, and I've just gone over the top of what I've done with it. Okay, so it's really matched it up and it's really close, and I'm quite actually happy with how close it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab that glitter that I made, and I'm going to start fading it up and filling in those seam lines and getting it where I want it. As you can see, my nails aren't thick, so I have a really good chance at a play with this glitter. I'm just going to take that residue off my brush and turn it around a bit, so I really just get that faded here, but more solid here on my ends. So the same with this one. I'm going to fill my smile, oops, oh no, I'm in frame. I'm going to fill that smile line in with the glitter, like so. I'm going to then very carefully take the excess off my brush. I'll turn my finger so you can see it, and then I'm just going to start gently grabbing a little bit of it and fading it back up the nail, and make sure that I've capped the end of the nail as well. I was thinking of doing that just solid glitter, but instead of a solid purple, but because I've really matched that up well, and I didn't think you all needed to see me do the polish, plus just here I need to add a little bit of colour, but I am going to do a second coat of this on this nail so it darkens it up. But it really blends in well with the other nails, and these free edges that I just saw, I'm just going to, while I've got the polish open, I'm just going to recap them. Okay, and then clean up this side here where I've just dragged the polish. Happy? Yep. So I'll put them in, they will go in the lights for 3 minutes and I'll be back. Guys, welcome back. It's so pretty, and it's all done. So now all that's left is I'm going to use my body builder gel, and as you can see, the nails, they're not thick nails. Okay, I will have to still yet file, but what I'm going to do is encapsulate all this prettiness, because you can't really file over gel polish. You can file the coloured gel and it doesn't affect it, but the glitter, we'd have a mess. So I'm just going to encapsulate my gel, and I'm just floating the gel up the nail. So I like to put mine down in a couple of stages and just float it up to where I need it. Don't need so much on my there, but I do here, and I will just fill in all my nails like so. Now with the clear gel, what I like to do is, once I've got a really good Oops, that's a bit much coverage. I like to turn my thumb upside down so everything starts to settle towards the center and giving a really nice shape when I go to file on that. And then I will pop that in the light, and I'll put my thumb in and fully cure it, and then I'll do my 4 other fingers. Back, they're out, they're all done. I've just got to file them, but they've got a sticky layer on top, dispersion layer. So I'm just going to get some alcohol and a wipe, and I'm just going to give them a good wipe down, and then I'm going to start filing them. So I will start at back. Okay, they're all filed. There's a couple of little tiny fixie uppies, which I'm just going to grab my polish and just sort out now. And just so you see what I'm doing, I mean, it doesn't really matter that there's that sort of line there. It will blend in, and the same with my pinky. I can go do a light coat all the way over, and because it's the gel polish, it doesn't have to be encapsulated. And I'll just fix up that cuticle there, and this excess just there. I'll just grab my brush back out, dip it in some alcohol, and grab that little bit that wants to flood my cuticle. Have a look at my edges on my nail, like here, and cap it. This one carefully. And cap anything that needs capping, like it needs capping here on the side. This one needs capping. Okay, so I've got that, so you can all see that. Okay, I've already made a repair on this one. You guys can't see it, so I'm just going to put it in the LED lamp for 60 seconds. Okay, get my mat back in frame. Okay, nails. So as you can see now, I'm just wiping them all. So anything that doesn't look like it's going to blend in, or that's going to stick out too bad, like this one here, I'm just going to grab my buffer block and I'm just going to lightly buff that surface. I'm going to give it a wipe and go, yep, that's pretty good. And that's all I am doing, is just blending it through. So I've got colour there now. It's just blended through, like this is blended in fine. This one you can't even tell. And the same with this one. I actually had to do it there. So I'm going to wipe them. Now I had a bit of a change of heart because these are done with the Glaze and Go and I love that. I mean, I haven't done anything but wash them and they're so shiny. Whereas the gel doesn't stay shiny for as long, I thought I'd show you this technique where they say you can use the brush on gloss, which is this. So you coat, I'm going to coat all 5 fingers with the brush on gloss. Lastly is the pinky. Again, I'm going to use the brush on gloss on it because I want to glaze and go it, because I don't, the other top coats I don't like as much from NSO, the gel polish top coat, or this brush on gloss, or the finish clear that I could use. I don't like them as much as like I really do like the Glaze and Go. So that's that. I'm going to chuck that in the LED for 60 seconds. Okay, so my hands come out of the light. Just going to get, I've got a tacky layer from the brush on gloss. I'll remove, and as you can see, as it's drying, it goes really matte-ish. It doesn't have that really glass-like finish. So now I've put on the brush on gloss, I can now put on my Glaze and Go from NSO, which I absolutely love, and it's going to give me that high gloss shine that I'm chasing with this look. So the gel and the acrylic match up to a degree. They're not going to be perfect because A, they're 2 different colours, they're 2 different glitters, but I want that, definitely want the high shine that I have on my other hand, rather than, you know, I mean, I haven't done anything and look how dull the other 3 are, you know, compared to now that. It's, I love NSO products, and I do like their other top coats, but it's nice to be able to decide which top coat I want to use. And what I've found is if I put the Glaze and Glow straight over any gel product, the Glaze and Go cracks. So when I spoke to them, the distributors, because I've got the Air Shield and the Heat Shield, so if I did a nail polish design and did acrylic painting, once the polish is dry, I can actually, now look at them, aren't they gorgeous? Once the polish is all dry with the Heat Shield, I can actually coat them in the brush on gloss and then Glaze and Go them. No issue. No paint bubbling up, no nothing. So I'm just putting them in the LED light for the 60 seconds. We will be done. But there's, we'll just give these ones a quick buff up because they haven't had it. Make them look really nice and shiny for you guys. But I have found, like I said, the most important thing is if you're going to do that, you're going to use their brush on gloss to then Glaze and Go, that you must take off the tacky layer, the residual layer of the brush on gloss, or the Glaze and Go will still crack. And there you go. How awesome is that? There's, oops. So which ones now are the acrylic and the gel? So I have to see if there's a big difference in this. When I'm looking at them naturally, I can see the difference. Swap them again. So the bottom hand's the acrylic and the top hand's the gel. But I hope you've liked these two tutorials. Until next time guys, keep safe. Bye.